In the previous videos, we have been building our step functions using the AWS Console. But today, I want to show you how you can do all of that from within Visual Studio Code. With the AWS Toolkit, you can create new workflows, visualize them as you edit, fix errors right away, and even deploy from within Visual Studio Code. Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Rahul and I make videos on .NET, Cloud, and DevOps. This video is part of my AWS Step Functions series, and thanks to AWS for sponsoring it. To start building step functions in Visual Studio Code, you need to first install AWS Toolkit. Now, I have previous videos where I walk you through the installation for Visual Studio and also Rider. However, if you would like me to have a separate video on Visual Studio Code, let me know in the comments. But you can quickly follow the documentation link, which will be there in the descriptions below, to walk through the setup. So once you have the toolkit installed, you'll also have to make sure that you have connected it to your AWS account if you want to deploy directly from Visual Studio Code. Now, a great way to trial all of this is to create an AWS free tier account and have this connected and trial it out. Once you have the toolkit installed, navigate to a folder in Visual Studio Code where you want to create your workflow file. You can use Ctrl-Shift-P, which is my shortcut for command palette, or open up the command palette from here. Once you have the command palette, you can search for step functions, which will give you the option to create a new step functions state machines. Since I have recently used it, it's on the top. Let's click this, and this gives you an option to select the starter template. This is basically like a Visual Studio project template that's giving us a few options. Now, for some reason, we don't have an empty state here, but I'll start with one of these and modify them. So let's choose the wait state and choose the language in which you want the template. For this, I'll use JSON. So you can use whichever one you prefer. Now you can see this is the Amazon state language, or ASL in short, which is used to represent the step functions. We had previously seen this in our step function workflows when we were looking at the code part instead of just the design. So if I switch over to Amazon Console and go to one of the step functions that we created, you can edit this and see the ASL under the code. So this is the full ASL for this step function. Now, this default starter template has added a few states inside here. So you can see the first state is the task state and it's waiting for using seconds. Now, you can see here, there are multiple states in here in this sample template. We have a couple of wait states, which is basically waiting for based on different properties. So you can see one of them has seconds, the other one timestamp, etc. Now, if you want to create a new state, you can easily do that by using Control Space, which shows up the IntelliSense options, and you can create a new state. So let's say we want to add a pass state in between, you can select that, and this will populate all the options. Now, if there are errors in this workflow file, it is also going to highlight that. Now, in this case, it's missing a comma, so let's fix that. And the next state, we can say we are going to use wait using timestamp. Now, the previous state, we can connect it to the pass state, which means this will be used and connected. Now you can see all the errors are gone. Now Visual Studio Code also provides IntelliSense within each of these task states, which you can use to populate the different attributes of these states. However, when we were building it in the AWS console, we could easily drag and drop and use the UI to build it, which is more preferable and also less error prone. Now you can use the IntelliSense and editing for maybe fine-grained tuning. Doing it through the UI makes it very easy and quick. So in Visual Studio, over to the right, you can see here an icon which you can select, which says Open with Workflow Studio. So once you click that, you get the exact same UI that we had in AWS Console to build out this workflow. Now you can visualize the entire workflow that this ASL represents. You can also drag and drop between these states, which automatically updates the code. If you want to create a new state, you can also do that from within here, and you can drag and drop all the states. Now let's make this as full screen so that we can see this more clearly. Now once you select a state, you can also update the different options inside this and edit them as required. Once you're done with all the edits, you can click Save File, which will prompt you for the file name. So let's specify this as a sample file and save this. Now you can notice the extension that was created on this file, which is sample.asl.json. Now, for some reason, it doesn't automatically open that file, which means you'll have to close this and open this again. However, it is the ASL extension in this file that triggers the opening of this specific UI. So if it sees that it has an extension of ASL, it will open this editor automatically. So now you can easily visualize and edit your workflow with this file. So you can drag around and make changes to this as you require and save file once you have finished. Now, it will also show you errors if there are any inside your workflow. Now, you can see there are two errors here, which says invalid ARN format. So if I click into this, you can see there is an invalid ARN, which we'll need to fix before publishing this workflow. Now, let's copy and paste one of these existing workflows that we have. So let's copy this workflow and let's create a new file. So you can easily come here and create a new file and specify user onboarding. One thing to make sure is we specify the ASL and specify .json. So once we have that, you can see it has created a new file and has opened the editor automatically. Now we can change the code in here. So let's paste what we have copied, which is going to bring the exact same workflow into Visual Studio Code now. You can drag and drop and edit this workflow from within Visual Studio Code. Once you're done creating the workflow file, we can deploy this to your AWS account directly from Visual Studio Code. Now for this, you can open the AWS Toolkit where I have already connected this toolkit with my account. So you can see the credential information inside this. Now, once your Amazon account is connected, you can open up your asl.json file, click on this icon next to the save file, and trigger the save and deploy. It prompts you to select the region where you want to deploy this to, and it also asks if you want to create or update. In this case, I want to create a new function, so let's select that. It's also going to use an IAM role. Now, if you want, you can create a role that has permissions for all these services, which we had done in the previous video. So I'll use one of those roles again. So let's choose the user onboarding role and select that. We need to give a name for our workflow. So let's specify this as user onboarding -vs for Visual Studio Code, and let's press enter. So this is going to create this workflow into our Amazon account. So if I switch over and go to the dashboard, you can see here the user onboarding -vs step machine is created. So let's navigate into that and we can execute this function. So let's click start execution. Let's paste in the user info that's required for this workflow and let's say start execution. Now this is going to trigger an execution. So you can see this is executing, calling the Lambda invoke and sending an SQS message once that's done. So this workflow has successfully executed, just like the previous video where we created this inside our console. Now, if you want to make edits to this, you can also do that from within Visual Studio Code. So let's come back to our workflow, go to the design mode. Let's add in a wait state in between. So let's drag and drop a wait state in here. Let's specify a wait of 5 seconds. Now that's all updated. So let's click save and deploy again. And this time around, let's choose the region. Let's say quick update. And in this case, we're going to update the user onboarding VS workflow. So once we select that, it's going to update that workflow. So if we navigate back to here, go to user onboarding VS. And if we create a new execution, pass in the input, this time around, we will also have the wait state. So you can see there is a wait state, which it is currently waiting on. So we've successfully modified the workflow and pushed it into our AWS account. And this workflow is now active. Now, if you want to see the actual JSON file here, you can click this icon and it will open up the JSON structure. Now, this is great to have the JSON object and interact directly with it if you're using AI coding agents to modify and update your workflows. The JSON file makes it much more easier for the agents to work with rather than having to do the UI. So if you're manually creating them, I would still be using the UI to drag and drop and create all these workflows. But if you're using a coding AI agent, then JSON works best. And having this VS Code extension gives you the flexibility of using both and getting the best of both worlds. In the next video, we will take this a step further and see how you can set up a build deploy pipeline for the step function workflow. It's not great to be deploying directly from Visual Studio Code. Ideally, you would want to push this into a repository, which will automatically trigger a build and deploy them to your AWS account. If you want to be notified when that video comes out, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It also helps me to grow this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.